Hi everyone, and welcome back to Docking Bay 81. Today we're going to be jumping in and taking a look at the brand new teaser trailer for Season 2 of The Mandalorian, which will be streaming exclusively on Disney Plus this fall. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this down shot by shot, take a look at all the Easter eggs and any hidden clues we might be able to find to give us any insight as to what kind of adventures we're going to be going on in Season 2. Because what we're really looking forward to is, Baby Yoda. All right, so let's jump right in. The first thing we're treated to here is the Razor Crest flying through space. And if you take a closer look, you can tell that the Razor Crest isn't doing so hot. The ship's hull looks pretty banged up. That cargo bay door is just hanging wide open in the back. And that engine really doesn't look like it's going to hold out for much longer. Next, we cut to Mando and the child walking that night through a pretty seedy looking part of town. I'm not exactly sure where this is. It doesn't look like anything that I immediately recognize from Star Wars. But that doesn't mean it couldn't be a callback to a place that we've been to in Rebels or the Clone Wars even. We got to see quite a handful of new planets and locations in Season 1, so it wouldn't surprise me if this is somewhere completely new that we've never seen in Star Wars before. Our next shot has us returning back to the most popular place in all of the Star Wars galaxy. Yep, we're going back to Tatooine once again, which is not surprising considering the big cliffhanger we had midway through Season 1 where Ming-Na Wen's bounty hunter character, Fennec Shan, was left in the desert for dead. Or was she? At the end of the episode, we see some mysterious figure walking up on her in the desert, which leads us to question, well, is she really dead or is she still alive? So I have a feeling we're going to be circling back around to touch a little more in that storyline once again. Next up on our journey is a frozen planet. Now, if I had to take a guess, I'm going to say this is not Hoth. The voiceover we're hearing right now is from the Armorer in Season 1. She sets Din Djarin off on his journey to reunite the child with more of his kind. Now, we don't know if that means more of his species or more Jedi, considering right now that the only Jedi in the galaxy that we know of is Luke Skywalker. I have a feeling that this planet is actually the planet Ilum, which has a strong connection in Jedi history. Ilum is actually the planet that Jedi apprentices would travel to find kyber crystals that they would use as the power source for their lightsabers. We've actually seen Ilum before in an animated episode of the Clone Wars. Kyber crystals became a major focal point in the movie Rogue One, where we saw that the Empire was actually harvesting kyber crystals to use to power the super laser on the Death Star. Because of the bond between a Force user and the kyber crystal in their lightsaber, the planet Ilum actually had a very, very strong connection to the Force. And because of his strong connection to the Force, it's very possible that Baby Yoda could be drawn to Ilum to help them unlock some ancient lost Jedi secrets that may help us find Baby Yoda's home, or even an explanation as to where he even came from. One last interesting thing about Ilum, years in the future, the First Order would actually come to Ilum, and using the abundant amount of kyber crystals that grew within the center of the planet, they would turn Ilum into Starkiller Base. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's get back to the trailer. We then jump to what looks to be like a seaport of some kind. Our Mandalorian hero is actually being accompanied by two reptilian-looking kind of aliens. I'm guessing one boy and one girl. They're walking through this seaport that's just filled with aliens known as Quarrens. Now this starts to get interesting. Quarrens, also called Squid Heads, first appeared in Return of the Jedi as one of the background characters in Jabba's palace. They also make several background appearances in the prequel trilogy, but where they really start to take center stage is in the Clone Wars. The Quarren actually share the same planet as the Mon Calamari. Given the number of Squid Heads that we can see in this shot, and these two Mon Calamari guys hiding over here in this corner, it's very likely that we are visiting Admiral Akbar's home planet of Mon Cala for the first time in live action. Again, the last time we saw this planet was in Season 4 of the Clone Wars, and they had some really cool underwater battle sequences that are definitely worth checking out. And here we get a shot at our first new character in the series. This is WWE superstar Sasha Banks. It's been rumored for a while now that she's been involved in the production of Season 2, but nothing, of course, has officially been revealed. A lot of speculation as to who exactly her character is and what role she's playing here in this series. The voiceover right now would lead us to believe that she's a Jedi. I really feel like that's a misdirection here. Of course, the most popular theory at the moment is that this is actually the live-action version of Sabine Wren from Rebels. Over the past few months, there's been a lot of speculation on the internet about animated characters from Rebels making their debut here in Season 2 of The Mandalorian. One of those rumors was Sabine Wren, a popular choice because she is also a Mandalorian. And seeing how Sasha Banks and Sabine Wren have a similar choice in hair color, a lot of people have jumped to the conclusion that this is Sabine Wren. We then get to see a little more of this water world that we've traveled to, which I think is the world that we saw at the very beginning of the trailer. Next, we have the Razor Crest flying through space, being escorted by a couple of New Republic X-Wing fighters. If you remember from Season 1, Mando took a job to help break out one of his old partners from a New Republic prison escort. The things, of course, did not go as planned. They end up trashing the ship, and in the end, Mando ends up tricking the New Republic into taking out his partners that once again tried to double-cross him. So I have to imagine that even though he got away, that the Mandalorian is definitely on the New Republic's list. Speeder bike through Tatooine, and some familiar faces. Looks like we traveled back to Navarro to see Gina Carano as Cara Dune and Carl Weathers as Greef Karga, who looks like he's been under a lot of stress as his facial hair has gone completely stark white compared to what it was in Season 1. Here we have the remnants of the Empire. We saw at the end of Season 1 that Moff Gideon is still around, so he's definitely still after his prize. Although we still don't know what exactly it is they want with Baby Yoda, you can be sure that after what happened at the end of Season 1, they're not going to just let him walk away. Hopefully we get a little more background into what it is exactly that the Empire is looking for and why the child is so special. In this next shot here, we see that our hero has found himself a victim of a trap. What's interesting about this is that this exact same trap is being used in the current issue of Star Wars from Marvel Comics, where Luke Skywalker is literally in this exact same scenario. Let's get back to the trailer. Here we have Mando using his Rising Phoenix jetpack. This next shot, it looks like Mando has possibly a bounty as he's hanging upside down from one of those streetlights we saw earlier. The light from that lamppost exploding actually illuminates the area pretty well. So I zoomed in here to try to take a look at some of the graffiti art in the background to see if that gives us any clue as to where we are, what's going on. And I gotta tell you, there's a lot going on back here. I think what I'm mostly seeing, though, are stormtrooper faces, possibly the face of the Emperor, a Jawa, maybe even a Cylon from Battlestar Galactica, and maybe even C-3PO hiding back here. I'm not sure, but wherever we are, they're definitely not Empire-friendly. Mando and the child enter possibly the old Jedi caves. Again, the Razor Crest not holding up so well these days, as the ship looks like it's burning up as it's entering a planet's atmosphere. And now here's my favorite part of the trailer, Star Wars Fight Club. It looks like Mando's going to some sort of underground gladiator arena of some kind, where we see Gamorrean guards fighting it out in a ring with their vibro axes. These were always my favorite guys from Jabba's palace, so it's actually really cool to see them in action this way. This actually goes back to the original Season 2 teaser that Jon Favreau tweeted out towards the end of Season 1, where he showed us a gladiator-style Gamorrean guard. So I'm very interested to see where that ends up going. And here we have Mando showing off the skills he learned in how to win friends and influence people. This guy appears to be an Abyssian. We've seen one of these guys before back in the original Star Wars in the Cantina. And that's gotta be my second favorite part of this trailer. This guy appears to be a Zabrak, the same type of alien as Darth Maul and Jedi Master Eth Koth. Fun fact, according to Wikipedia, Zabraks have 2 hearts. Except that one. Well, I gotta tell you guys, I'm excited for this. Season 1 was incredible, and I can't wait to see where this story ends up leading. I'm really curious to see if the rumors about the Rebels characters making their live-action debuts in Season 2 here turn out to be true. And I'll be touching on a lot of those rumors in one of our next upcoming videos. Thanks for tuning in as always, and may the Force be with you.